You may never have visited Korea before, but the church has. So have the destructive armies of the nations. It's easy to level buildings and make thousands of families homeless. There's no trick to matching violence with violence and dispossessing man of his inheritance. Man's inhumanity to man is notorious. You can't measure the cost of a war in dollars or won. You can't measure it in any of the things of earth. But the cost is no less real, and payment will be made by generations yet to come. Yes, the church has been here, and today the church in Korea is rebuilding into a strong Christian community. This is a part of the whole pattern of restoration and rebuilding across the land. It's harder to rebuild than it is to destroy, but man rebuilds nevertheless. New construction is slow in this land whose economy has been so seriously disrupted. Slow, but as sure as Korea's faith in her future. Here in this new Korea, Chan Young-chae has made a new life for himself. Born into a Christian family, he is a graduate of the Korean Presbyterian Seminary in Seoul. Chae is fond of young people. During seminary days, he participated in the flourishing Bible Club program in which over 50,000 boys and girls are enrolled. He and his church are determined to extend the love of Christ wherever there is need, at home or abroad. Surprising what a child can take, isn't it? As much as grown-ups. Sometimes more. Korea has its own missionary outreach and has supported missionaries in China for many years. That door is closed now, so new avenues of service have been taken. The church is about to send its first fraternal workers to Thailand. A committee of leading Korean ministers, joined by a missionary from our church, interview and examine the two young men as they come up before the Korean General Assembly for commissioning.
이와 같은 현상을 태국에서도 멀지 않아 보기를 원하는 것이옵시다. 이런 일을 장차 멀지 않은 시간에 보기 위해서
The Yongnok Church in Seoul is a symbol of the stature and independence of the Korean church. It has matured. It is self-governing and rich in faith and love and good works. Here in Yongnok Church during the General Assembly, Kim and Chae are commissioned to work with the church in Thailand. This kind of thing is happening more and more across the earth. You see, in today's church, every nation shares responsibility to fulfill the Great Commission. As national churches increasingly become autonomous and strong, our old concept of foreign missions becomes more and more outdated. This is an age of ecumenical mission, when Christians from all lands join forces in implementing Christ's command around the world, each church contributing whatever it has best to offer, and each receiving what the others have to give of the grace of Christ. Mr. Chae can give you one reason. Mr. Chae, will you repeat what you told me last night?
In the Korean War, I should have been killed many times. But the Lord gave me my life as a gift. Now I wanted to give it completely to Him.
Thanks, Mr. Chae.
There is gold in Thailand. Temples, pagodas, and palaces are trimmed with gold. Even the monks wear robes of gold. Devoted worshippers bring offerings of gold. But there is another kind of gold in Thailand. But the ancient rivers and canals are always there. So in Thailand, there is a third way to travel. Water highways. These waters also provide many of life's necessities, even a floating market. Thailand, land of the free, is the only country among her neighbors that has never been a colony. Man and beast work hard and long. This was the ancient method. Now elephants are being replaced by tractors. Buddhism is the state religion. It is not merely a system of theology expressing itself in yearly ritual and splendid temples. It's a way of thought and life. Courtesy, tolerance, joy, and optimism are all Thai characteristics. And they are chiefly, they say, the products of Buddhism. One of the main tenets of Thai religion is belief in a chain of future lives on earth which will give the individual a chance to put right one by one his all too human failings. After 150 years of Protestant work and 4 centuries of Roman Catholic activity, there is still only one Christian in every 200 people. Even so, the church continues to work. The Bible Society is there to help by providing the scriptures. There are tribes living in the hills for whom translations must be made. These people also speak Thai, of course, but it's not their mother tongue. At least one book of the Bible must bring the gospel to them in the language of their home. In the meantime, the Polkarens are sharing in a new venture: cassette tapes and illustrated Bible selections. These tapes and a cassette player are loaned to the people. Successive tapes are passed from one family to another. Thailand's national language is constantly developing. So recently, it became necessary to revise the entire Bible in Thai. The Bible Society Secretary, Chan Young Choi, a Presbyterian missionary from Korea, checks the proofs for the printer. All the printing and binding is done in Thailand. Some scriptures are even printed for export. Attractive covers and common language versions have tremendously increased distribution. They even print scriptures in comic book form. Their sales have been enormous, 100,000 copies a year. The Bible Society would like to have volunteers to take the scriptures into their community, but this is difficult in Thailand. Christians are so much in the minority that volunteers are not easy to find. So the work is done by a staff of colporteurs, men and women who are employed by the Bible Society to distribute the scriptures. They meet once a year to share experiences, to consider new methods, and to rededicate themselves. Over 2 million scriptures are distributed annually throughout the country, and nearly all of them by this group. With only 25,000 Christians, most of the 2 million copies must be reaching others. This is evangelism. Look at the impact the Bible has made on this man's life. This is what your Bible Society gifts are doing. It's amazing that the Bible Society in Thailand is able to present Bibles to the leaders of Buddhist temples. Chan makes the presentation with the usual Thai greeting. This abbot accepts the gift because he is constantly searching for truth. It's a search which takes him into the pages of the Bible. There is gold in Thailand, even the finest gold.
Completion was officially open following.
It's tomorrow. No, sorry.
November.
今天是 November 7th.
Yeah, but no, the 87 December 5th of 87 officially open. All connected now.
Yes. And if need to, they can construct new correctly.
Got some proofreading here.
Oh.
There is a man who works on this too, yeah.
And the plates for the press.
Disappearing. I said, yeah.
Why not take this down?
What's happening? So I followed them.
To dry all the paper before we put it onto the presses. This is a new building project for the coming new press room. 1,000 Bibles every week go out.
3, yeah, all of my. So,